everyone, and welcome back to Citywide Bytes. Now, this interview is a bit of a unique one because my next guest isn't calling from the studio or from their home. They are on the road, about to take the stage at the Tin Roof in Charleston. Joining me are Brady Heck and Rebekah Rafferty of the band Holy Roller. Brady, Rebekah, welcome to the show. It's so cool to have you both here. Calling from the band van, too, no less.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah,
That is the ultimate road trip story here.
Yeah. Early wake up call this morning. We're
Yeah, because I read that you actually just played at the Poorhouse in North Carolina the other day, and now you're at the Tin Roof. So you're back on the road. I read like the first time in about a month. So how does it feel to be back on stage?
it's great. It's always great. I mean, we've been hitting it really hard. So like we took about a month off. Everybody got a little vacation in like right before our busy season kicks off. I mean, and honestly, like you're away from it for so long, it's like there's like a little bit of nerves, but honestly, it's great getting back together with everybody. And like North Carolina is awesome to us. So, it was a great welcome back. Great being back with everybody. I mean, and it took like 3 songs, but we shake the nerves off when we're back.
Oh, nice. Now, is North Carolina, South Carolina, are these like your usual stomping grounds?
North Carolina has really become like a second home for us. Like we're based out of Richmond, Virginia. But Raleigh and Charlotte have just like been so welcoming to us over the last year. They've turned into regular stops every time we travel south.
yeah, but we're our first time playing South Carolina is actually tonight, so we're
Oh,
excited. We're
cool.
excited to see what that looks like. So it's new, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bet. I'll bet. Now, what goes into booking like your tours and your shows? Do you like do all this yourself?
Yeah, completely DIY right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool, cool. What would you say have been like the favorite places to play at?
Mm,
okay. Personally, I feel like everywhere has been very different. Like Brady said, we've had a lot of really welcoming folks in North Carolina and obviously Virginia because we're from there, but I I feel like we've been like really really lucky because pretty much everywhere we've played has been kind of awesome. So like
that's true.
we haven't we've I feel like maybe I don't know if that's normal, but we're really lucky in that sense to where we've been meeting amazing people everywhere we've gone and it's been like really good experience. So nothing stands out as like worse. I mean, everything's
Yeah.
been kind of awesome, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It's we're really lucky.
I mean, I do have like one specific memory that stands out though. So like we've just recently started doing a lot more festivals
Oh.
this time of year. And we played Red Wing last summer, which was like it's a Virginia festival out in the mountains, and it was the first time that we had been there, and we got stuck with like an afternoon set the first day. Or no, we played twice in one day actually.
Mm.
So we got stuck with an afternoon set, like heat of the day, and I mean it was hot. Like we were like short shorts, sweating. It was terrible and gross. At least we were
Yeah.
like the set. Then the power went
It was
out. Like there was a whole thing. Um, but then like we wound up getting it's called the Hill Stage at that festival, and everybody kept telling us it's like that's like the place that you're gonna party with the people. So like you go through the festival grounds, and it's very like together. Like it's well organized, family friendly, but there's this like threshold at the tree line where you're driving back through camping and you can tell the vibe is just different now. Like it goes from being family friendly to like, hide your kids like real fast. And like this, we're like getting toted through there in a golf cart. And I feel like everybody at that festival would agree with me too.
no comment. I
but
don't think so.
but oh my god.
Okay.
But so we get like toted through, and it's like the scenery immediately changes, and we get toted up to this really really tiny stage on at the edge of like a cow pasture, and it's just a hill. That's why they call it the hill stage. And like at first you're like, all right, well, I guess we do it. And next thing you know, it's like everybody,
It
and
was
I mean,
gorgeous though. It was a gorgeous stage and there were tons of kids out dancing.
yeah,
It was awesome.
immediately it's like everybody from this section of the festival just crowds to that stage, and like just gets down. Like it was for being in a new place, new festival, audience we'd never played to before, and like honestly, I hate to say it, but I feel like sometimes we can be like pretty skeptical of like situations that we're getting ourselves into as a group. And like to walk into a spot where I didn't know what to expect and then just like immediately get swarmed with like love and this huge audience that we were not expecting to have on this tiny little stage, it just turns into this rager. And then it's like, you've got like older folks, you've got kids getting down, and everybody's just super welcoming, and like the whole rest of the time we were at the festival, you have people coming up to you like, holy roller, oh my god, I saw you on the hill stage, that was crazy. you know yeah, that stands out in my mind as like a special night.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And speaking of festivals, in just a couple of weeks, you'll be playing at Boston Calling. And we have talked to a number of bands playing there: Nate Perry and Record Company, Snack Time, Battle Mode Rebuilder. How did this come together for you?
um Lots of hard work and eating your Wheaties. um
Really? Nice.
no, I mean, yes, but at the same time, we have some friends up north that we've known for a long time that have been kind of keeping an eye on what we're up to. When we released the most recent album, the Good Religion record, they were just really impressed by it and wanted to give us a shot. And they talked to the right people, got us involved, and everybody seemed on board with it. And so here we go. It's not, yeah, nothing too crazy.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love it though.
Yeah, relationships.
yeah,
Now, is this your
having
first time
friends that
playing?
believe in you, I
Yeah.
guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Now, will this be your first time playing there?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Actually,
Ooh,
it's Holy
newcomers! I
Roller's
love
first
it.
time in Boston at all.
Yeah.
No kidding.
We're so excited. We're
Yeah.
so stoked.
Oh, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Like Boston is just an absolutely amazing music city, and of course, Boston Calling is a fantastic, fantastic thing. Who are you looking forward to seeing on stage, though?
I'm really looking forward to seeing Monrovia. Uh,
Nice.
they're an incredible artist. I've been listening to them for a few years now, and so being able to, I think, share the stage, and obviously TLC, but being able to, I think it's really surreal. I saw TLC a few years back, so it's really surreal to be able to kind of be playing a show where you've like gone to see these artists. So I'm so excited. Anyways.
Oh yeah. Y-
Um, Honestly, Avril Lavigne. Not even gonna lie.
yes. Oh, of
Yeah.
course. Of
Dude,
course.
Yeah.
of course, but no, it's like, so when I was a child and Avril Lavigne's records were like first coming out, my cousin Meredith was like a huge Avril Lavigne fan, and like there were so many times that's how like we would tell the passing of times is how many times we got through like the Skater Boy record. So like we were always waiting on my aunt no matter what we were doing, and it's like if we got through the album like 2.5 times, like we knew we were going to be late getting to the pool, right? So like I was never like a huge Avril Lavigne fan growing up, but there's so much nostalgia tied up in that. It's like I can't wait to see it live.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I feel the exact same way because seeing like some of these bands that I like grew up listening to, I think, oh my god, they're still playing. That's
Mhm.
so cool to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's
And like
gonna
playing large scale events too. I mean, that's awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So speaking of which, for the folks that have never heard Holy Roller before, well, first off, see you guys live. But what can they expect from your set?
Um
Energy.
N-
I feel like that's the thing we hear the most is like we're well, get ready to participate because we like a lot of that. But I would say our kind of our thing is performance. We love live performance and we have a lot of energy and we like interacting.
Rebecca's saying get sweaty.
I'm saying
Yeah,
get ready to get
get
sweaty.
sweaty.
Yeah. Mhm.
I love that. That's perfect. Now, one thing we love to ask is the band's origin story. How did Holy Roller come together?
Why you look at me like that? We were literally just talking about this. So years and years ago, we had a group called Big Mama Shakes. that, you know, I mean, I feel like same thing as like any band. Like Peter and I, our bass player, we met in high school. We made a high school project. We stuck together into our 20s. That band became this thing called Big Mama Shakes. It was an old group. You know, years happen with that. We lose members, we write new songs, we change the name. When we did the first Holy Roller record, just the self-title one, it was actually a very different lineup than what we have now. So we cut that album with members of our previous band at the exact same time that we accidentally changed our name on Facebook to Holy Roller. It was July 4th, 2018. So our bass player, like God love him, he he looked into changing the name and accidentally scheduled it. So like we were all hanging out and at the same time got a notification on our phones that a page you follow has changed its name to Holy Roller. So,
Whoops.
so thus the inception of Holy Roller. But so we cut the first album as a different lineup in 2018 with, you know, essentially our previous band. Um, right, like within a month after putting out the first record, a couple members decided that they wanted to do different things with their lives. Rebekah met us, comes into the fold. Ryan, our current drummer, jumps in. Um, if you listen to the new album, there's a lot of horns on it. That's coming from Clay Masick, who you know, you met him moments ago. He's our newest member, trumpet and guitar, and then he and I do all the horn line stuff for our albums, like back scene. But he joined, shoot,
Couple years ago.
November,
Yeah.
yeah, just barely a year ago. Um, yeah, so you know, melting pot of knowing a bunch of people for a long time.
Yeah. Okay. Rebecca, how did you wind up in the band?
Okay, so this is actually quite funny. I don't know. It kind of just happened, but I will say we met, you probably don't remember this, but I remember this. We met, both of us were at a music festival that it was like a crazy thunderstorm and a car got stuck in the mud and everyone was like frantically trying to run into the buildings and whatever. And we were two dummies who were like, "We'll help push this car out of the mud." So both of us were pushing a car out of the mud, and that's how we met. And then both, there were a lot of artists at this festival, and so we kind of started talking about music stuff, and then like I accidentally ended up in the band. So yeah,
She's ready.
yeah, he was a little.
I have seen pictures,
There are pictures, but
like dude covered
covered in mud. So that's how I ended up in the band. I guess these guys are fine. They're cool.
Yeah.
They're helpful.
That is a great origin story. I love that one. That's so cool. All right. Now you have two new releases. Absolutely fantastic covers of Elvin Bishop's "Fooled Around" and "I Fell in Love" and Fleetwood Mac's "The Chain." Both out back in April. So amazing. I love these songs.
Thank you.
What about like? Oh, you're welcome. What about these two songs made you think we should do covers of these?
Who? That's a really good
We
question,
love
actually.
probably because we love them.
Good
But
answers.
Yeah.
I that's what I would say.
Yeah. I mean, genuinely, yeah, love the songs. Um, we started doing Fooled Around and Fell in Love just to fill out like when we had long sets. And then people started responding really, really well to it. Um, then it was Rebecca's idea to bring in The Chain, and like I have never seen people react that way to a cover song in my life. Like we were playing a gig at College of William and Mary, and it's like kind of a fraternity sorority sort of event, right? It's party, and when these kids were just like it was in. I've never seen people react to a cover song like that, and I think that was kind of the moment where we were like, yeah, we should probably just release this one.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Oh, great, great. Now, you've got your two albums out, 2019's Holy Roller, and then last year's Good Religion. How would you say the music's changed like over the years, and what do you have, and where do you think it's going like down the road?
Hmm. Um, I think that the music has the perspective on has changed. Like from the first person point of view, like everybody has different thoughts on like the writing process. I'd like to think of it as like you're writing characters, you know, even if you're writing something autobiographical, like, you know, nobody else is going to be the person in the song, and you know, you can't even really be the person in the song, you know, otherwise chances are it's not going to be a very good song. So like even if it's your life, it's always like kind of embellished, it becomes a character. um and I think that just like over the years the characters have just grown up more. I think that we've gotten like more rooted in like the band that we are. Like the we've grown to understand like the kind of musicians that we want to be. Just like growing up, maturing, I think songwriting is always going to reflect that. And then moving forward, like I'm in a place where like I'm really excited to try some new ideas. Like just turned 31 in November and not writing the same kind of songs that I was when I was 25. So like I'm excited to see what that looks like moving forward.
Yeah, and I think the evolution too is natural because I think we have different band members than the first album. So the first album had one set of band members. Our recent album has half different band members. So I think naturally we're shifting writing and creating to be what we are right now, and being more, I think, everybody having their kind of creative ideas involved,
Yeah.
which is great.
Something else that I think is really cool is like as we've gotten deeper into it, like the first album that we did, we recorded at a Montrose studio in Richmond, which was like a gorgeous recording studio, but it was also expensive. So for this new one, we actually recorded that. We converted my whole basement into a studio. We spent the better part of like a year converting and recording and mixing on the fly. So we did all of that ourselves. And then in the process, we kind of started just like as a six-piece band. I mean, and like really we were a five-piece band for a majority of that before Clay joined, realizing that like some things we had to outsource, like horn line, or like there's pedal steel on a couple songs, things like that. We got to a place where we were just like, well, how can we avoid outsourcing anything? So like Clay, Peter, and I, all marching band kids. We all play horn and read sheet music. Clay can arrange music. So rather than paying people to do our horn lines, we just started writing and recording our own horn line parts for the songs, which like that brought an entirely new personality to the stuff. Or like I learned to play pedal steel. So instead of having to get my buddy Tyler Tingey in New York to do it, which that's a name drop. If you need pedal steel, Tyler Tingey's fantastic. Um, but you know, then we can do all of that from the house. You know, like we started using like amplist rigs to where we could do things remote and just like like expedite our process, and that brought a whole new flavor that like we really only got to tap into like halfway through the process. So like whatever comes next, like there's some songs like in the slow cooker right now, but now knowing what we can do, like I'm really excited to see how we
It's
can
gonna be
pull it
fun.
off.
Excellent. All right. Well, folks, we are coming down to the end of this conversation, but the big question that we always end with is, what is next for Holy Roller?
Boston calling, baby.
Yeah, good answer. I love that. I love that.
Yeah, but we are in a more broad sense.
Yes,
I
exactly.
would say we're really, really trying to broaden where we are playing right now. We're trying to kind of keep going on these tours where we're expanding past maybe just the East Coast, and we've been kind of stuck around a few little states, and this year we're trying to really expand past that and get to know new folks and new spaces. So yeah,
We've been talking about Japan. If you're in Japan,
Really?
that's
drop us a line.
it's dramatic. We haven't like I want to. Yeah, we've been talking about
Canada,
that's all.
love to do Canada. If you're in Canada, drop us a line.
Yeah, yeah. I know we're really
yeah. I have this theory. It's like a gut instinct that I would thrive as a Canadian. If you're up north, let us know.
Yeah, there you
Like,
go. There you go. All right. All right. Well, Brady, Rebecca, thank you so much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. And folks, if you're going to be at Boston Calling on the 23rd, See Holy Roller. They're going to be absolutely amazing. Follow them on Spotify, follow their socials, buy the merch, and definitely looking forward to the next conversation.
Heck yeah,
Thank
man.
you so
Thank you.
much.
Are you wait, Max, are you gonna be there? Are you coming to Boston?
I will regrettably not be there, but I'm there in spirit. I'm there in spirit. I'm in the audience in spirit. Trust me on that
All right.
one.
That's enough for
Yeah, I'll
us,
take it.
honestly.
There you go.
Thank you so
And
much
to
for
the
having us.
Oh, you're very welcome. And to the folks at home, thank you once again for checking this show out. I'm your host, Max Bowen, and we'll see you all next time.
See ya.